Welcome back to my channel. This time we're working on this again, but also we start pulling the engine out of this. Don't get it all the way, but we start. Anyway, enjoy it. Check it out. All stick it up now. Sick. Right, new video time. This weekend I'm going to start ripping the engine out of this. I've left it for about 2 weeks, so I feel bad about that, but I've just been slaving on that thing. But this video, we're going to start pulling that out. I need to clear all this shit out of here. I need to build a little timber bench type deal so I can put all the engine pieces on there and wash them there. Just trying to utilize the room I don't have. But this thing, found out why it's not hitting boost. I was just running it before and the blow-off valve opens at idle. So any boost that it's trying to create is just getting vented. So I'll sort that out tomorrow and we'll take it for another drive. And yeah, just put a clear coat on the bonnet. Doesn't feel very smooth, but it's on. Yeah, check this out. This will work. So this area here is just going to be for washing the parts, probably a bit of assembly because that over there is just... yeah, so I'll be using it mainly for this car. So all the bits and pieces off the top of this will go on that bench over there, and then the engine will sit here, do what we have to over here, parts wash. Just makes sense. So now I just got to get rid of all this stuff. I have no idea where to put it, but yeah, this place, yeah, I need more room. So this is what I'm talking about. It's open. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that's supposed to stay closed on idle. You can see when it's coming up to boost, it's starting to close, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be closed the whole time. Not 100% sure. I might have to Google it or something like that. But if that is the case, then it's probably the spring's too light and it's going to be good luck trying to find the other spring that came with it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so just going to rip the blow-off valve off now, and as you can see, it doesn't take much at all to open that. So I've managed to find the box, and we've got the heaviest spring. So I'm going to throw this in there and see if it stays closed on idle. Hopefully, it'll be all good. So just having a look on the inside, the whole diaphragm is in good condition, so I don't believe that's an issue. This here was the spring I took out. As you can see, it's quite small and doesn't take much to compress that. This is the one that we're putting in, so yeah, a little bit more hardcore. So I'll go ahead and put this back together, throw it back in the car, and we'll start it up, and hopefully it stays closed. So there you go, heaviest spring is holding it shut, but what I'll do now is it's a bit late in the evening. I'll take this out tomorrow and take it for another drive and see if there's any substantial difference. Hopefully it's got a little bit of boost. That'll be nice. But yeah, stoked with that. So Sunday today, I need to get stuck into this, but before that we need to move this out. I have fixed the blow-off valve as you saw, and I saw a leaky injector, so I fixed that now too. So I might take it for a quick blat down the road. It's a nice day. And see how it goes, and then we'll get stuck into this. It's still the same, but that was cool. It's not leaking fuel now, blow off valve's working, so it just needs a tune. Always known that, but I think in 5 days it's going for a tune, so excited about that and worried at the same time. Time to get stuck into this. I'm just going to shift it over to the center of the floor, drain fluids, and I probably won't pull the engine today. I'm just going to rip all this stuff off the top and just get down to the nitty gritty, I guess, and just have a look and see what we're working with. Okay, we're going to start by obviously getting this intake out first, and we're going to go to the battery box, rip the strut brace off, and then we'll start taking upper intake manifold off. There are a few solenoids on the back of that which we need to label. I'll label up all these lines here, and then yeah, we just need to start disconnecting the coolant. So there's a line here that runs to the throttle body, and then I believe there's quite a few lines down here for the factory water pump. The oil metering pump will come out with the car, but I just noticed this thing has aircon, so that's a bit of a dog. Whether or not we remove the compressor and just sit it to the side, or we just yank it. I just don't want to have to undo the lines and degas it, but yeah, get into it. There she is. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff down there. That's why I had to delete all my water pump and all the front of the stuff off of mine, just to get the manifold up through there. But that's insane. So what I'm going to move forward with is, yeah, take the manifold off, or the upper half, and then pull the alternator, try and get rid of this air pump. I can get rid of the top of it, but the bottom piece is actually in behind the headers, which is a real dog to get to. And yeah, just strip it down, hopefully so we can see the top of the engine. Check out these coils. Bennett built coils. Those are cool. Yeah, so what a dog. This is bringing back nightmares for me, actually. Well, there it is there. Upper manifold's off. To be honest, I struggled with where the bolts were, but I have a spare one sitting up there so I could see where they were. But you can start to see the top of the engine down there. So what I'm going to remove next is the coil packs here. We'll get rid of the alternator and we'll start the air pump delete, and then possibly push this over by the door and then just dump the fluid so I can get rid of all these lines here, all the water lines. And one thing I'm worried about later on is the oil metering pump lines. They get really brittle over the years, and when you try and disconnect them, sometimes they snap. So if that happens, I'll talk to the owner and see if we just put a blank plate on it and just run premix. But we'll see when we get there. So just got the alternator out now. I noticed that these plugs are labeled trailing, leading, which is a bit weird, but that's all good. So I'm just going to follow the lines, mark if they're trailing 1 or trailing 2, mark the same mark on this plug here so there's no confusion come reassembly. But yeah, get those out, air pump out, and we'll just keep mucking around with it, I guess. So just gone and pulled out these coils. These are actually really cool. I quite like them. The only fault I could have with them is it was earthed to the chassis. As I know from experience now, it needs to be earthed to the engine block. But these are actually really cool. They would actually look really good in there somewhere. I like them. I might look into these. Right, so now we've got the aircon tensioner off, we've got the belts off, alternator coils are out. We're going to start looking at this air pump now. I'm going to delete this. It's just rubbish anyway. What will happen is it will start for a fault code because that's gone, but I do have a OBD2 scan tool in there that I'll just leave it in the car. I don't need it anymore, so he can just keep clearing the codes. Those lines I was talking about with the oil, they're just down here. It's where they connect just underneath here. They just break. They're a pain in the ass. And also what I think this will need is it will need the SSV valves cleaned. It's right down in here. So when I pull the engine out, I'll take it out and I'll soak it in the parts cleaner and get all the carbon off it. It's actually quite gross when you see it. I'll show you. But we'll concentrate on getting this air pump out, a few other little bits and pieces. I don't know if I'm going to try and attempt to pull the engine today. Probably not, to be honest, but we'll strip the top of this down and probably call it a video. So air pump is there. So all I have left in here is this piece here. I said it before, it goes down and bolts into the back of the exhaust manifold, so we'll get rid of that later. Just noticed we've never actually dealt with automatic Rx8. The starter motor is actually on this side. I've never seen that before. I suppose that's how they all are, but strange. Yeah, and another thing I've noticed, which is probably not the best, was this is a factory radiator. They got the plastic tops here, and there's this little line. Where is it? Right here. Now this little nipple on top snaps, and it just pisses water. So aluminium radiators are the way to go. No chance of that little nipple snapping. But yeah, I've had an issue with one of these before. It's a pain in the ass. So what I need to do off this bracket, which came off the air pump, is this has something to do with fuel pump, something. I need to mount this back in the car, but you don't want the rest of the bracket. So I'm just going to run my grinder up through here and then just straight bolt that back in over there, and then I think we're good. I might look at draining the radiator today and then just prep for another day to actually pull this engine out. I'm not a big fan of getting underneath the car today, so I'm going to do as much as I can up top and then hit the underside next time. But yeah, I'll go cut that bracket and put it back in. There you go, much better. Just cut that big ugly piece off, and now that's all solidly mounted back in, plugged up. So yep, I'm going to leave the video here. I need to go help the young fella on his car for the rest of the day. But next time we'll look at, yeah, as I said, dumping fluids and jacking it up, undoing everything underneath. The engine mounts on this are a real pain in the ass, and so are all these radiator hoses. A lot of them are stuck and you've got to try and twist them out. They're a real dog. Also, there we go, the top two bolts and the bell housing up here, you actually have to get in from underneath and have every extension possible just to get to them. So next time. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll upload again later on this week.